Welcome to Learn English with Stories 365. Today, we have an incredible story for you, one that will inspire you and help you improve your English at the same time. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like your dreams were too big? Have you ever faced challenges and thought about giving up? Have people ever told you that you can't succeed? If you said yes to any of these, then you need to hear this story. This is the story of a boy who never gave up. He wasn't born into a rich or powerful family. He didn't have connections. He didn't even grow up with his father. And yet, he changed the world. He became the first black president of the United States. He won a Nobel Peace Prize. He gave speeches that inspired millions. And yes, he even had a basketball court in the White House. But his life was far from easy. He lost his first election badly, and he faced racism and doubts from people around him. Many said, "He'll never win." He was told, "America is not ready for a president like you." But he didn't listen to them. Instead, he worked harder. He studied more. He kept going when others would have quit. And in 2008, history was made. Barack Obama became the 44th President of the United States, proving that anything is possible if you believe in yourself. But how did he do it? How did a boy from Hawaii, a boy who once lived in Indonesia, a boy raised by a single mother, go on to lead the most powerful country in the world? Today, we will follow his amazing journey from his childhood to his struggles, to his biggest victories. And at the end of this video, don't miss our key vocabulary and grammar points to help you learn English while listening to this story. So, sit back, turn up the volume, and let's begin. Childhood and the journey. To find identity. Barack Hussein Obama was born on August 4th, 1961, in Hawaii, a beautiful state in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. But even though he was born in the United States, his story begins in a different place. His father, Barack Obama Sr., came from Kenya in East Africa, and his mother, Stanley and Dunham, was from Kansas in the United States. Barack's parents met while his father was studying in Hawaii, but soon after Barack was born, his parents separated and his father returned to Kenya. Barack's life from the very beginning was filled with challenges. His father was far away, and his mother worked hard to raise him. Despite these challenges, Barack grew up with an extraordinary sense of hope and ambition. He always dreamed of a better life, even when things weren't easy. When Barack was just a small child, his father sent him letters. Although Barack couldn't understand everything his father wrote, he cherished these letters. They became a symbol of the love his father had for him, even from afar. Barack grew up knowing that his father was an important figure in his life, even though he didn't have the chance to be with him much. While his father wasn't physically present, he had other strong influences in his life, including his mother. Dunham was a remarkable woman of strength and wisdom. She worked tirelessly to support Barack, ensuring he had everything he needed to thrive. And wasn't just his mother. She was his mentor, guide, and biggest cheerleader. She taught him to be curious, to question everything, and to believe in his abilities. She instilled in him a strong work ethic and the power of education. Barack's childhood wasn't filled with material possessions, but he had everything he needed to succeed. He received love, attention, and the belief that he could make a difference in the world. His grandparents played a significant role in his upbringing. His grandfather was a hard-working man who never gave up, while his grandmother was a kind and caring woman who always looked out for others. Together, they raised Barack and provided him with a sense of stability. Even though Barack grew up without his father, he didn't feel deprived. He learned to appreciate the people who supported him and loved him unconditionally. Barack realized that family isn't just about blood ties. It's about the people who care for you, help you, and encourage you to pursue your dreams. Challenges and identity struggles. Barack Obama's story is not just about overcoming family challenges. It's also about identity and race. As a young boy, Barack didn't quite fit in with the world around him because his father was African and his mother was American. He found himself in the middle of two very different cultures, and he was often the only black student in his school. This made him feel like an outsider, and people would often ask him questions about his background. This was a difficult thing for young Barack to answer because deep down, he didn't feel fully connected to either culture. Barack Obama had a tough time figuring out where he fit in. He didn't grow up in Africa, so he didn't belong in the black community. And he had African roots, so he didn't fit in with the white community. Instead of letting this confusion define him, Barack decided to embrace his differences. He saw them as strengths, not weaknesses. He realized that his unique background could help him bring people together, no matter their race or background. He understood that the world needed more people who could bridge divides and create understanding between different cultures. This lesson would guide him for the rest of his life. Education and early career. Barack Obama always had big dreams as a young boy. He wasn't sure exactly how he would achieve them, but he knew that education was the key. He worked hard in school and excelled in his studies. But even with all his efforts, things weren't always easy for Barack. He faced discrimination, doubts, and obstacles that many young people face when they come from tough backgrounds. But Barack's resilience shone through. He didn't let these challenges stop him. After finishing high school, Barack moved to the mainland United States to attend Stanford University in California. It was a big step for him, leaving behind his family and the familiar world of Hawaii. But Barack was ready. He wanted to grow, learn, and experience the world. This was the start of a new chapter in his life at Stanford University. Barack was exposed to a whole new world at Stanford. He met students from many different backgrounds and began to see the world in new ways. But he also began to feel the pressure of living up to the high expectations he had set for himself. Barack knew that in order to achieve his dreams, he had to push harder, work smarter, and never give up. So, he transferred to Columbia University in New York City, one of the top universities in the United States. This was a big challenge for Barack. New York City was a fast-paced, busy place, and Barack had to adapt. But he was determined to make it work. Adjusting to life in a big city wasn't easy for Barack Obama, but he wasn't afraid. He was determined to succeed in Columbia. He studied political science, which later influenced his career. He became more interested in the issues affecting society, like racial inequality and poverty. He saw how many people were struggling and felt a deep desire to help them. Community organizing in Chicago. Barack realized that education wasn't just about getting a degree. It was about using knowledge to make the world a better place. After completing his studies, he moved to Chicago and worked as a community organizer. This job took him into some of the poorest neighborhoods in the city. Barack's work wasn't easy. He had to meet with people, listen to their problems, and find ways to bring about change. He worked long hours and faced many challenges. People were skeptical at first, but Barack knew he had to stay strong. He didn't give up. He believed in the power of ordinary people coming together to change their world. Barack faced many challenges as a community organizer. Some people didn't believe that things could change, while others were too caught up in their own struggles to listen to him. But Barack believed in something more powerful, the belief that together people could make a difference. He worked tirelessly to improve the lives of people in Chicago. He helped them fight for better housing, better schools, and better jobs. This section of Barack Obama's early life was filled with challenges, but through them he learned valuable lessons. He learned the importance of education, the power of community, and the strength of belief. His story shows us that no matter where we come from or how difficult our situation may be, we can always fight for a better future. Barack Obama's time as a community organizer in Chicago laid the foundation for everything that came after. His work in the neighborhoods of Chicago wasn't just about helping people with immediate problems. It was about teaching them to be self-reliant and to believe in their ability to make a difference. Entering politics. Barack Obama believed that he and others could make a difference in their lives and the world. He knew he needed to do something bigger to make a real impact, so he decided to run for political office. Running for office wasn't easy for Barack. He was young, black, and had no political experience. But he had something that many other politicians didn't: a deep understanding of the struggles ordinary people faced. He had a connection to their lives and knew how important it was for someone in power to listen to them. In 1996, Barack ran for the Illinois State Senate. It was his first step into the world of politics, and he knew it wouldn't be easy. He faced strong opponents who had more experience and money, but Barack had one thing they didn't: a powerful vision. He believed he could create a government that truly worked for the people, especially those who had been forgotten by the system. His campaign was different from most. Instead of focusing on flashy advertisements and expensive events, Barack focused on talking directly to the people. He walked door to door, visited people in their homes, and listened to their concerns. He wanted to understand their pain, hopes, and dreams. He wanted them to know that he cared about them and that he was fighting for their future against the odds. Barack won the election and became a state senator in Illinois. This was just the beginning. He used his position to pass laws that helped improve health care, provide better education, and support the poor. He worked with both Republicans and Democrats, believing that the best way to solve problems was to bring people together, not divide them. Even though he was having success, Barack knew he needed to do more. He was starting to feel that in order to really make a difference, he needed to reach a national audience. So, he decided to run for the U.S. Senate in 2004. The speech that changed everything. Back in 2004, before Barack Obama even ran for the U.S. Senate, he had a chance to speak at the Democratic National Convention. This speech would change his life forever. At the time, Barack was a relatively unknown candidate, but when he stepped onto the stage, something magical happened. He started speaking not just to the people in the audience, but to the hearts of millions of people watching from their homes. His speech was powerful, hopeful, and full of unity. He talked about the future of America, where everyone, no matter their background, could have an equal opportunity to succeed. He said there wasn't a liberal America and a conservative America, there was just the United States of America. These words struck a chord with people across the country. He talked about bridging the divides in the country and focusing on what united us, not what divided us. The speech was a moment of hope, and it showed the world that Barack Obama wasn't just another politician. He was a leader who could inspire change. It was a turning point in his career, putting him on the national map and making people believe he could lead the country. Barack's message of unity, hope, and change resonated with people from all walks of life. It gave them hope that things could be different. In 2004, Barack Obama won the election for the U.S. Senate. Now he was serving in Washington, D.C., where he had the opportunity to make an even bigger impact on the country. His time in the Senate allowed him to work on important issues like healthcare, ethics, and ending the war in Iraq. Barack used his position not just to pass laws, but to inspire a new generation of leaders to fight for justice and equality. One of the most important things that Barack Obama did during his time in the Senate was to fight for the Affordable Care Act. He believed that everyone deserved access to health care, no matter how much money they had. This was a bold stance, and many people didn't agree with him, but Barack was determined. He spoke with passion about it. Healthcare was a fundamental right, and after years of hard work, he helped create a law that would give millions of Americans access to health insurance. But Barack wasn't just focused on the big issues. He also worked on small things that could make a big difference in people's lives. He helped pass laws to improve education, make the criminal justice system fairer, and protect the environment. He became known for his ability to bring people together to work on problems, even when they disagreed. He didn't just want to be a politician who passed laws. He wanted to be a leader who made the world a better place. Running for president. As Barack continued to serve in the Senate, his popularity grew. People believed that he could be the next president of the United States. But running for president wasn't an easy decision. He knew the road to the White House would be tough, with criticism, attacks, and obstacles. But he also knew that this was his chance to make the biggest change of all and fight for a better America. In 2007, Barack officially announced that he was running for president. He faced many challenges in his campaign, especially because he was running against Hillary Clinton, a well-known figure with a lot of support. People doubted whether he could win. He was young. He didn't have much political experience, and some people didn't believe a black man could become president. But Barack had something that no one else had: the belief that change was possible. He believed that America could be better, and that the only way to make that happen was by inspiring people to get involved. He didn't just want to win. He wanted to give people hope. He wanted them to believe that they could be a part of the change. Barack traveled across the country, meeting people from all walks of life. He listened to their struggles, their hopes, and their dreams. He gave speeches that inspired thousands. His message of hope and unity started to resonate with people of all backgrounds. People from all walks of life, tired of the same old political game, were looking for a fresh start. And on November 4th, 2008, Barack Obama stepped up and became the leader they needed to make that transformative change happen, becoming the first black president. Imagine this: Barack Obama, the first black president of the United States, achieving a dream that many thought was impossible. This victory wasn't just for Obama. It was for everyone who had hoped for a better, more fair America. On election night, Obama stood on the stage in Grant Park, Chicago, and gave a speech that would be remembered forever. He thanked his supporters and promised to work hard for the people he spoke about. He knew there would be challenges ahead, but he also believed that the country could overcome them together. Obama's win wasn't just about politics. It was about hope. It showed that dreams can come true if you work hard and believe in yourself. It inspired millions to believe in themselves and the power of change. Challenges and achievements during presidency. After Barack Obama's historic victory in the 2008 presidential election, the world was filled with hope and excitement. He had promised to bring change to America, and people believed he was the leader who could make that happen. However, as soon as he entered the White House, Barack faced numerous challenges. The country was grappling with a financial crisis. Wars were raging in Iraq and Afghanistan, and millions of people were struggling to find work and make ends meet. It was a time of great uncertainty, and the expectations on Barack were enormous. But Barack was determined to fulfill his promises. He knew that the road ahead would be difficult, but he also knew that the American people needed someone who believed in the possibility of a better future. He was ready to face the challenges head-on and lead the country through tough times. Key policies and achievements. When Barack Obama took office on January 20th, 2009, he inherited one of the worst economic crises in American history. Throughout history, economic crises have left millions unemployed, housing markets in shambles, and banks failing. People were scared and didn't know how they'd pay their bills or feed their families. But Barack Obama quickly took action. He passed the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act to inject money into the economy and create jobs. He worked to stabilize the financial system and prevent a complete collapse. He also started working on reforming healthcare, education, and energy. Obama didn't just want to fix the economy. He wanted to build a foundation for long-term success. He believed that every American had a chance to succeed. But his efforts faced fierce opposition from many Republicans and even some Democrats. They disagreed with his approach, criticized him for his spending, and argued that his policies were leading the country in the wrong direction. But Obama remained calm and focused on his goal to help the people, no matter the obstacles. One of the most significant achievements of his first term was the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. This law aimed to provide health care for millions of Americans who didn't have insurance. It was a bold move, but it faced strong opposition from many sides. Obama believed that health care was a basic human right and fought for it even when others said it was impossible. After months of debate and negotiation, the law passed and changed the lives of millions of people across the country. It wasn't perfect, and there were many who disagreed with it, but Obama's commitment to his vision showed the country that he was willing to fight for what he believed was right. While Obama worked on domestic issues, he also faced significant challenges abroad. The wars in Iraq and Afghanistan were ongoing, and Obama knew that he needed to find a way to end them. He promised to bring troops home, but the process was complicated. Foreign policy and global challenges. Balancing national security with protecting American soldiers and civilians was a challenge for Barack Obama. Over time, he reduced the number of troops in both countries, but the wars remained controversial. Tensions arose with countries like Iran and North Korea, which were pursuing nuclear weapons. Obama chose diplomacy over military action, aiming for peaceful solutions. One notable example was the Iran nuclear deal in 2015, where Iran agreed to limit its nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief. While many supported this deal, others criticized it for not going far enough to stop Iran's ambitions. Another controversial moment came in 2011 when the U.S. carried out a mission that killed Osama bin Laden, the mastermind behind the 9/11 attacks. The operation was successful, but it raised questions about the ethics of such an operation. Some praised Obama for bringing justice to the victims of 9/11, while others questioned the use of force in another country without its permission. Obama's decision to approve the mission reminded us that leadership often involves making difficult and unpopular choices. The second term and political struggles. In his second term, Obama faced both progress and setbacks. He had already accomplished much during his first 4 years, but now he had to secure his legacy and navigate a more divided political landscape. In 2013, Obama faced one of the biggest challenges of his presidency: the government shutdown. The Republican-controlled Congress refused to pass a budget unless Obama agreed to defund the Affordable Care Act. The situation became tense, and for a short time, parts of the government were forced to close. However, Obama refused to back down. He stood firm on his beliefs and eventually convinced Congress to pass the budget. This reopened struggle highlighted the deep political divisions in the country, but it also showed the strength of Barack Obama's leadership. He wasn't afraid to fight for what he believed in, even when it wasn't easy. Another major moment in his second term was his stance on climate change in 2015. He helped broker the Paris Climate Agreement, a historic deal aimed at reducing global carbon emissions and combating climate change. Many world leaders praised the agreement, but it was also controversial. Critics argued that the deal would harm the economy, while supporters said it was necessary to protect the planet for future generations. Barack's commitment to addressing climate change was a defining part of his presidency and showed that he was thinking not just about the present but about the future. Even as he fought for progress, Barack faced challenges at home in 2016. He had to deal with the rise of Donald Trump, a businessman and television personality who was running for president. Trump's campaign was based on divisive rhetoric, and he promised to undo many of the policies Barack had worked so hard to put in place as the election approached. It became clear that the country was deeply divided, and Barack knew that his successor would have a difficult task ahead. Throughout his presidency, Barack Obama's speeches were often powerful and full of hope, but some of his words sparked controversy. One of the most famous controversial speeches came in 2008 when Barack talked about bitter Americans who cling to guns or religion. The comment was meant to highlight the frustrations of people living in difficult economic conditions, but many interpreted it as an insult to hardworking religious Americans. Barack quickly apologized, but the incident remained a part of the narrative surrounding his presidency. Another moment that caused controversy was his stance on race relations throughout his presidency. Barack spoke out about issues of race, but his actions and words often left room for debate. Barack Obama's words were powerful and inspiring, but they also caused division. In 2009, an African-American professor named Henry Louis Gates was arrested in his own home by a white police officer named Barack. Barack famously said that the police had acted stupidly, which sparked a national debate about race and law enforcement. It also highlighted the deep racial tensions in the country. Barack's speeches on race were often aimed at bringing people together and fostering understanding, but they weren't always well received. Some people thought he was too focused on race, while others felt that he wasn't doing enough to address racial injustice. Despite this, Barack continued to speak out, knowing that his words had the power to spark change. Barack Obama's presidency was full of challenges, but it was also full of trials. He fought for healthcare reform, climate change action, and economic recovery. He made history by becoming the first African-American president and showed the world that anything is possible, no matter where you come from. He left office in January 2017, but his influence is still felt today. Many of the policies he put in place are still in effect, and his legacy continues to inspire people around the world. He showed that leadership isn't about being perfect. It's about fighting for what's right, even when the road ahead is tough. He believed that change was possible and proved it with hard work, dedication, and a belief in the goodness of people. Anything can happen. Barack Obama's story is not just one of political success. It's a story of hope, resilience, and the power of believing in a better future. He showed us that no matter the obstacles we face, we can overcome them with determination and a commitment to justice. His life is a reminder that leadership is not about power. It's about serving the people and fighting for what's right. After Barack Obama left office in January 2017, many wondered what he would do next. Legacy in life. After the presidency. After 8 years as president, Barack Obama left an indelible mark on the nation. People admired his leadership, calmness in crises, and commitment to equality and justice. But his story didn't end there. Even after stepping down from the most powerful position in the world, Obama's influence didn't fade. His post-presidency years have been a testament to his unwavering dedication to service, progress, and the greater good. One of Obama's first major projects after leaving the White House was the creation of the Obama Foundation. This foundation was designed to inspire and empower the next generation of leaders. Obama's vision was clear: to create a space where young people from around the world could come together, learn from each other, and work on solutions to the problems facing their communities. The foundation focuses on several key areas, including leadership development, global engagement, and community building. Obama believes that young people are the key to solving the world's biggest challenges. He often speaks about how the future belongs to them and that they have the power to create positive change through the Obama Foundation. The Obama Foundation Scholars Program provides young leaders with the tools and opportunities to make a difference, whether in their home countries or on a global scale. Obama has always said that his greatest hope for the future is not just to leave a legacy of laws and policies, but to leave a legacy of empowerment. He wants to ensure that the next generation knows how to lead with empathy, understanding, and a commitment to justice. Through the foundation, Obama is planting the seeds for a better tomorrow, one that will continue long after he's gone. Since leaving the presidency, Obama has traveled the world, speaking out on various global issues. His messages are always centered on unity, hope, and the belief that we are all connected. He has spoken about climate change and other pressing issues, urging people to take action and work together towards a more sustainable future. In his speech at the Nelson Mandela Annual Lecture in South Africa in 2018, Barack Obama emphasized the significance of democracy and compassionate leadership during crises. He warned against polarization and division in society, cautioning that fear and hatred can lead to the loss of what makes a country strong. Obama stressed the importance of unity, tolerance, and the belief in progress. He encouraged people, particularly the younger generation, to get involved in their communities and political processes. He reminded them that democracy is not just about voting, but about standing up for what's right, fighting for justice, and working towards a society that values equality for all. Obama's words have resonated with people worldwide and continue to inspire those fighting for human rights, climate justice, and democracy. He uses his platform not to seek attention, but to highlight the struggles of those who need a voice, including the marginalized, oppressed, and forgotten. After his presidency, Obama dedicated part of his time to writing his memoir, A Promised Land, which was published in 2020 and quickly became a bestseller. The book offers an inside look at his time in office, his struggles, triumphs, and the values that guided him. It's more than just a political history. It's a personal reflection on what it means to lead, serve, and make difficult decisions. Obama shared his fears, doubts, and moments of questioning whether he was doing the right thing, but he never lost his belief in the power of hope, change, and service. He wrote about the moments when he felt the weight of the presidency, but also the moments of joy and accomplishment that reminded him of why he took on the role. In his book, Barack Obama reflects on his family and the sacrifices they made while he was in office. He speaks highly of his wife, Michelle Obama, describing her as a source of strength and wisdom. Michelle had always been his biggest supporter, but she also became a leader in her own right, using her platform to advocate for girls' education, health, and empowerment. Barack often credits Michelle for being a constant reminder of what truly matters. The book also explores the challenges of being the first African-American president and how those challenges shaped his worldview. He reflects on the moments when he was accused of not doing enough for the African-American community and how he dealt with criticism from both the left and the right. He writes honestly about the frustrations of working within a system that often seemed resistant to change, but also about the moments when he saw progress and felt that he was making a difference throughout his career. Barack Obama has always been guided by his faith. He has spoken often about how his Christian beliefs have shaped his views on justice, equality, and service. Faith is not just about religion for Barack. It's about living a life of integrity and doing what's right, even when it's difficult. One of the most powerful moments of his presidency was when he spoke about the tragic shooting of 9 African Americans at the Mother Emanuel AM Church in Charleston, South Carolina, in 2015 during his eulogy for the victims. Barack sang Amazing Grace during his eulogy, a moment that moved millions of people around the world. His voice was shaky, and he appeared deeply emotional. But in that moment, Barack embodied everything he had always stood for: compassion, healing, and hope. Barack Obama's faith continues to guide him as he speaks out on issues of racial justice, equality, and human rights. He uses his platform to advocate for these important causes. Hey there, folks. Let's talk about those who are struggling and remind everyone that change is possible, but it takes time, effort, and a belief in the goodness of humanity. Now, Barack Obama, a leader who's been widely celebrated, has also faced criticism. Some argue that his presidency didn't go far enough on issues like healthcare, racial equality, and income inequality. Others criticize him for not achieving the level of change that many had hoped for. But Barack remains confident that he did the best he could with the circumstances he faced. He acknowledges that not every decision was perfect, and there were moments of failure, but he also believes that leadership is about moving forward even when things are tough. He teaches that it's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from them and keep pushing for progress. Lessons from Barack Obama's life. As we near the end of Barack Obama's incredible journey, it's important to reflect not just on the milestones and triumphs, but also on the lessons his life teaches us. His story isn't just about politics, policies, or even the White House. It's about the power of resilience, belief in change, and the endless potential within each of us to make a difference. Barack Obama's path wasn't always easy. He faced challenges that seemed impossible: racial discrimination, doubt from others, and obstacles that many people would never even imagine. But what set him apart was his unwavering belief that anything is possible if you're willing to work for it, fight for it, and believe in it with all your heart. His life proves that no matter where you come from or what obstacles you face, you have the power to shape your own future. One of the most powerful messages Barack Obama has shared with the world is this: don't wait for the world to change. Be the change. It's easy to look at the problems in the world and feel overwhelmed, but Barack has shown us that one person can make a difference. Small steps lead to big changes. Every step you take towards progress, no matter how small, adds up to something huge. Barack Obama's story teaches us that leadership isn't about being in charge. It's about empowering others. It's about inspiring people to believe in themselves, in the possibility of a better future, and to take action to make that future a reality. Every one of us has the ability to lead in our families, communities, jobs, and daily lives. So, what does Barack Obama's legacy mean for you? It means you're capable of more than you think. You have the power to create change, face your fears, overcome obstacles, and never give up on your dreams. His life is a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there's always light. Even when the world tells you no, you can still say yes. Barack Obama didn't let his circumstances define him. He refused to accept the limitations others placed on him. He pushed forward when things were difficult and remained true to his values even when the world didn't agree with him. Because of that, he achieved things that many thought were impossible. Now, it's your turn. The world needs you. The world needs your voice, your ideas, and your unique perspective. It needs you to be brave to take action and keep moving forward, even when it seems hard. No dream is too big, and no challenge is too great. Your journey is just beginning, and it's full of possibilities. Remember, every day is a new opportunity to make a difference. The next time you face an obstacle, think of Barack Obama. Think of his belief in hope, change, and the power of people to create a better world. And most importantly, believe in yourself. You have the power to change your life and the lives of those around you. Your future is in your hands, and like Barack Obama, you too can leave a legacy that inspires generations to come. So, rise up, take that first step, and never stop believing. The world is waiting for you. Key vocabulary. Great job listening to the story of Barack Obama. Now, let's review some important words from the lesson. Vocabulary word 1. Heritage. Heritage means the traditions and background passed down from ancestors. For example, Obama's heritage includes both African and American roots. Vocabulary word 2. Community organizer. A community organizer is someone who helps bring people together to improve their community. For example, before becoming president, Obama worked as a community organizer in Chicago. Vocabulary word 3. Election. An election is a process where people vote to choose a leader. For example, Obama won the presidential election in 2008. Vocabulary word 4. Senator. A senator is a member of the U.S. Senate, which is part of the government. For example, Obama was a senator before becoming president. Vocabulary word 5. Legacy. Legacy is something important that a person leaves behind after their work is done. For example, Obama's legacy includes inspiring young leaders around the world. These are just a few words from the story. Try using them in your own sentences. Key grammar points. Now, let's look at some grammar points from today's story. Grammar point 1. Past simple for biography. We use the past simple to talk about events in someone's life. For example, Obama was born in Hawaii in 1961. Here, was born is in the past simple because it happened in the past. Grammar point 2. Used to for past habits. We use used to to describe things that happened regularly in the past but not now. For example, Obama used to play basketball when he was young. This means basketball was a regular activity in his past. Grammar point 3. Relative clauses to add information. We use relative clauses to give more details about a person or thing. For example, Obama, who became the first Black U.S. president, studied at Harvard. Here, who became the first Black U.S. president, gives extra information about Obama. Grammar point 4. First conditional for future possibilities. We use the first conditional for possible future situations. For example, if you work hard, you will succeed. This means that success is possible if you work hard. Grammar point 5. Modal verbs for advice and possibility. Modal verbs like should, must, can, might help us express advice or possibility. For example, we should believe in ourselves. Here, should is used to give advice. Wow, you made it to the end of the story. That means you are learning, growing, and improving your English every day. Just like Barack Obama, you are on a journey. Maybe English feels difficult sometimes. Maybe you've faced challenges along the way. Maybe people have even told you, you can't do it. But guess what? You can. Obama's story teaches us that hard work, determination, and belief in yourself can change everything. He never gave up, and neither should you. Every time you listen to a story in English, every time you learn a new word, every time you practice, even when it feels hard, you are moving closer to success. So keep going, keep learning, keep believing in yourself. And if you enjoyed this story, don't stop here. Subscribe to our channel so you never miss a new lesson. Join our Facebook group, Learn English with Stories 365, to practice with other learners, ask questions, and stay motivated. You are part of a community that believes in learning, growth, and success. We are here to help you on this journey. Remember, every small step you take brings you closer to your dreams. Now, tell me in the comments, what is the biggest lesson you learned from Barack Obama's story? I can't wait to read your answers. See you in the next video. Keep learning, keep growing, and never give up.